Hey everybody, it's me, Kasha Wolf, and today I decided I wanted to talk about the whole 2012 and my dream that I had. So it's kind of hard to figure out where to start, because apparently from what, sorry, I was playing with like stupid glasses. Anyways, apparently from like all the questions and stuff like that, I noticed that a lot of you guys are a little more interested in the 2012 thing real quick. And I think it's better that I do this and share this with you first, so you kind of get the idea of another reason why I'm kind of getting you more started into chakras. And, what was I going to say? Oh yeah, don't look at my pimple. Like how it looks like I'm getting a pimple, and it's bothering me, because I can see it in the camera. Anyways, but yes. So, anyways, what I wanted to say is that basically, 2012 is basically the hallway between the golden age, the new age, and the new age is the Aquarian age. But when this started, it was back in 2011, I believe I'm not sure if it was January or February, I don't have the exact date, but that's when it started, because from what we have from the Mayan calendar, because we're all measuring this from the Mayan calendar, and what they didn't have planned out was, the time change that we have. So when it would have ended was in 2011. So that's when it started for us. So if the world was going to end, it would have been in 2011. Now 2012 is the beginning of the new age. That's the beginning of the Aquarian age. And this is where we're going through all of this change. Now what this change is, it's basically for all good to take over. That's it. All good is going to take over. Not the bad, what everyone says with the whole end of the world. It's the end of all evil, basically. Not meaning all of us are going to die and stuff like that, because that's not how it is. For the people that are not meant to be here, for the new age, are checking out. And what I mean by that is they're dying. People are dying for random causes, just natural deaths, hurricanes and stuff like that. This is something they planned already from before they came here. Like on the other side, they planned that they didn't want to be here for this, so they're checking out. If you're starting to notice that people that you thought were super healthy, and all of a sudden it just seems like they're going downhill, like they're going to be dying soon, it's because it was their choice to check out. They don't know this, but it was. And that's why a lot of people are, basically, I guess you could say, dying. Not a lot of people are dying, but people that are dying in this time, it's because they chose to leave. Us that are here now, that are deciding to stay, we are meant to be here. We're here for a reason. And this is something that we planned on the other side on what we are going to do. And if you guys notice that from the past, like in 2011, a lot of weird things have been happening. This, I mean, like psychic abilities have been enhancing, all kinds of abilities have been enhancing. Also, couples have been breaking up. Like your grandparents can randomly be getting a divorce, or your parents, or you no longer want to be with somebody. And this is because we are supposed to be seeing the truth. All the truth from all the bad people that had all of these lies, all that truth is coming out. Their lies can no longer hide. Everything is coming to the surface. All the truth is coming to the surface. I'm even experiencing this in my own family. You guys know about my grandmother and grandfather getting divorced and stuff like that I told you guys about. That's when his lies started coming to the surface. This is something I never ever imagined for my grandmother and grandfather. And all of a sudden we find out all these horrible, horrible, horrible lies. It's because all the people that we are meant, or that we are not meant to be with, we are getting away from. This new age, we are going to be with the people we are meant to be with. We are meant to be happy. In religions and in Christianity and stuff like that, you notice that there's, the prophecy of like all the good, prevailing, and like all the good just taking over, because it's the truth. In a lot of religions, they have like something of this. Like even in the Egyptian religion, like in Egypt, if you read, there's like a story that matches the same story as Jesus. But there's so many, like, I think years apart. So it's as if he came and made his stops everywhere. For those of you who do believe in him. Because I'm not trying to, push onto your stuff. But the whole thing is that 2012 is about a beginning. We are within the hallway. Things seem tough and hard because we're getting to it. We're getting to the good stuff. We're getting to what we deserve, basically. And like all the people that we believe are bad, like for, what is it, Wall Street or something like that? Or whatever. All those people that you feel are bad and you have this thing to where you know they're bad, they're not going to last. People have been having dreams for like a long time about this time. Don't think that it's the end of the world. There's probably a reason why you found my videos, because it's kind of you gaining your spirituality, because that's what's happening during the New Age too. Our spirituality is going to be enhancing, and there has been prophets to a new religion. There's going to be a new religion. And religion in the first place separates people, if you've noticed. Like, it's just a big separation. Like, we're separated by all kinds of things. We're separated by, Democrats and Republicans, and we're separated by religion and stuff like that. And it does cause problems randomly, but, we do naturally have our own beliefs. There's some things within our own specific religion that we don't feel comfortable about. That's why I'm more out there, and I have a big band of, like, stuff I believe in, because I can't just stick to one religion, because all religions have something. Like, there's truth in a lot of different religions. It's not just one. And like I said, you guys, all the truth is coming out. You might be noticing you getting random sicknesses or random symptoms and you just can't find what's wrong with it. It's because your light body is enhancing for the new dimension. The whole point is our world is like combining into a separate dimension, basically. And that's where we're going to be enhancing. And for, like, example, like Jesus, he was one of those people who had, who had his rainbow going. He had all of his chakras open. His vibrational level was amazing. For those of you who know, after the crucifixion, he came back, like 3 days later, or was it 7? I need to remember. I think that was right, yeah. And then after being here, he went back to heaven. He didn't die, he went back. And that's because he was on that spiritual level to where he was able to move into separate dimensions, that being going into heaven. You guys don't have to believe this, it's just an example, basically. That also including, like, Noah's Ark. Noah himself was one of those ones who is able to go in those separate dimensions. That way, he had his contact with God, for those of you who believe in God. But we are going to be naturally going through things with our bodies because we are adjusting to the amazing stuff that is coming forth. And we're just basically getting along with the ride. One of the things that I highly recommend for during this time is, getting your chakras open, so that way you have, that. As for the bad people, that you can't necessarily call them bad people, but if they do not learn, then things are not going to go well for them. There's a chance for everybody because, God is giving, or whoever you believe in, is giving us enough chances to try to understand the truth. Unless you're going to purposely remain ignorant of it for your own, decisions, that's just your fault. That's just their fault, whoever is not going to be doing so well. But I'm not, trying to separate people in another way, but that's just the whole idea of 2012 on what's going on. We're going to have, hiccups here and there, but we're getting there. We're going to make it, you guys. But yes, a lot of things that are happening also during this time is we're having a lot of maybe demonic forces coming through to random people, because when you get into the craft, the whole thing is that you're gaining power. You're gaining some kind of power. You're gaining knowledge, because knowledge is power. You're gaining all kinds of knowledge from separate levels. You're not just looking at the physical. You're looking at the the astral, the metaphysical, and at the, whoa, what happened? The esoteric. You're just looking at it in deeper layers. You're not just going from the physical, because if that's all you went from, you wouldn't be really getting that far. But when you look into that kind of stuff, you're going to realize that you're actually being attacked more often than you think, because you have knowledge of it. Knowledge is power, again. But when you gain this kind of knowledge, you'll know how to defeat such bad entities. And then basically what happens is that they don't like that. They have to stop you. They do not want you to get in their way. They will stop you by like affecting you in your dreams or in your life randomly. That's just how they are, because you're becoming dangerous to them. You're another good person who's going to influence someone else to be a good person, and just going to keep on getting that chain going. Now if they can stop you, they can stop that chain. So anyways, as for my dream, so as you guys know, I'm into the craft and stuff like that, so I know how to get rid of bad stuff. I'm pretty good at it. I think I'm pretty great at it. I love being able to, being able to push them off like that, because they don't have a right to harm a person in a physical way or in a mental and emotional way, because I think that that's absolutely wrong. I don't like that they can do that. So me as myself, I will do whatever I can to fight them. So, okay, this one night I had a dream that I was trying to get home, and I had gotten in a truck with my friend, Cassandra. I had gotten in the car with her and some of her family, and we actually drove up to this spot that I used to live at. It's where I used to live at. It's not where I live at now, but we lived in these apartments, and they were called the Mount Vista Estates. And then you could like walk over to this wall that had a hole in it, and if you go through that hole in the wall, we had like a direct entrance to the 7-Eleven. You just had to walk a little bit, and the 7-Eleven was right there. And I'm big on the 7-Eleven, of course. And like we were parked where the 7-Eleven was, but there was no 7-Eleven there. And that area is usually a dirt lot, and I never had good feelings about that lot in the first place. Like, I've seen something really bad over there one time, and it was really scary. But anyways, I'm not talking about that right now. So I'm like, this is not my, like, where I live anymore. I'd have to walk a good distance from there to get home, when I was in my dream. So when I was standing there, all of a sudden, like, it was not dirt. There was grass, and then there was like leaves on the floor, and there was cherry blossom trees. It was very, very pretty, and then there was the hole there. And all of a sudden, everything behind me changed. It was like a college or something. And there was like this separate level, and that was the level I was on. And there was stairs going all the way up to the college. And there was like another level, and that was attached to the college, and then there was that level, and then there was the level down to where all the grass and stuff was, and then the hole. And there was also, well, anyways, all of a sudden my mind kind of changed, and like the people I was with was students at the college. So basically I was in class, and I was looking out at the greenery and stuff like that, and I saw, like, I think a gazelle or something. I know that sounds random, but there was also a goat. And this goat caught my attention, and it was walking backwards. And for a moment I was like, oh, you're such a stupid goat. And then I was like, wait, that doesn't seem right. A goat walking backwards. And I had gotten this, like, immediate bad feeling about this goat. And when I thought about backwards and I thought about the goat, I thought about everything backwards. What things are backwards. And I was thinking about, the cross, and I was thinking about, oh my God, this goat, I was watching it, and it walked backwards up to me. And it came to me, and it started talking. And I was like, oh my God, this goat is freaking talking. I know this sounds insane, but this is what happened. And I don't have a good feeling about this throughout the whole dream. And I was just thinking, oh God, help me. And so the goat sat on the bench I was sitting on. I was sitting on the bench, you guys. The goat turned into a human and sat on the bench next to me. And he had like blonde hair, like almost like blonde spiky hair. And he was like very, very pale skinned, and he had blue eyes and like a goat looking kind of mustache that was blonde as well. And he looked at me and he started talking to me. And he was saying all kinds of like, I guess you can say like sexist kind of stuff. He was talking about all kinds of like really bad stuff. I don't even like remember in such details. I just remember him saying this kind of stuff to me, you know, and like trying to get me to agree to whatever the heck he was saying. And I was just giving him like a weird look because I was uncomfortable and I didn't like it. And I was giving him this weird look, and I was like, what the freak is wrong with him? I'm like, this does not feel good to me at all. And I was just sitting there like, okay, you know, just looking at him, not agreeing to anything he's saying, but I wasn't going to say anything out of line because I wasn't sure about this person, especially after him turning, you know, from a goat into a human, you know what I mean? So, I think the bell rang, and I was like, thank God, you know. And I was getting up, and I think he turned back into a goat, and he went back to his spot. And I went, and I was starting to run into the college because I was thinking, oh my God, you know, like what's going on? And I was thinking, oh my God, I need to call my mom. And there was a guy sitting down, and he was crying, and I was like, what's wrong? What's wrong? And I put my hand in his hand, and I can feel a rosary in his hand. And he says, oh my God, did you hear what that thing was saying? He's like completely like Antichrist. And I was like, yeah, I didn't like what he said. And I'm like, oh my God, I left my phone back there. And I was like, how am I going to do it? I got to call my mom because I don't want to stay here. I don't want to stay at the school. Like, I don't know what's going to happen. And so I went back over there, and he went with me. And this other guy, the guy who had the rosary. And I looked down the stairs because there was a lot of stairs going down to that grassy area where the hole was. And I saw my bag there, and I was thinking, I can't go all the way back down those stairs with that thing because I don't think I'll be able to come back. So I was heading down, but then an older woman ran past me, and she went down there, and I hurried up and I grabbed my bag and I ran back up, and it had my cell phone in it, and you know, but I started running and to leave completely because I was just sleeping, and I could hear the older woman being torn apart by this goat. Like I could hear the sound of the goat, and I could hear her screaming, and I could hear the tearing and everything. And then that's when I woke up. So after I had thought about this for a while, I had thought about it for a while, thinking about it, because I know the goat was not good. And so I had also talked to the woman who is now my teacher, or in other words, like the master, you know, for like Buddhism and stuff like that, who is teaching dharmas. I talked to her about the dream because I was telling her, you know, how I kind of felt about it, but I told her it in details before I put my feelings in. And she said that it being an area in which I was familiar, it was kind of an area that I trusted. And, you know, like a roadway that I trusted, that I knew. So they thought maybe I would trust it and go the way they wanted me to. Almost a way of seduction. And the cherry blossom trees, I love cherry blossoms. They were also trying to seduce me with the cherry blossom trees to go their way. They wanted me to go through the hole that way because that was another way of seducing me and getting me to like be tricked into, you know, following what they wanted. And I was like, you know what, that makes complete sense. So a goat in different religions is seen differently in all kinds of religions. Some don't like the goat. They think of it as the symbol of, the devil or demonic. For others, it's a peaceful kind of like symbolism. And the goat and the person that it was an incubus, because the way how it made me feel was like it was trying to seduce me in a way, not like sexually and entirely, but in different ways of trying to seduce me. And basically I passed the test that it was trying to pull on me, because I was paying attention to the way I felt about everything, and then I was just aware of what was going on. I passed. Like, even though they were trying to trick me within a dream, I passed, basically. But stuff like that might happen to you guys because of, being able to defend yourselves now. Being able to know when you're going to be affected by something like that. I've heard someone say that they had dreams about their family being possessed. I've had those dreams. I've had dreams of something going on in the house. I've had dreams of performing exorcisms. I had dreams of performing exorcisms in this one house, and an Indian came to me and helped me do this exorcism and complete it. I've had dreams of all kinds of other people being possessed and me performing exorcisms. It's just crazy, like a lot of crazy stuff. But I'm not trying to scare you guys, but this is stuff you're going to run into even if you're not doing the craft. If you're just a good person all around and you have that great light and you have great energy, you're going to have stuff bug you like that. And I was just telling you guys about this so that way you're prepared and you kind of get an understanding of, how the world is changing and spirituality and stuff like that. Try not to stick on only one religion. Be open-minded, you guys, because there's way more out there than meets the eye, you guys. There's way more out there, and you need to pay attention. So anyways, you guys, I am out of breath, and I still have to get all the ideas and stuff together for the chakras and everything. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give me your input on all of this and stuff like that. I wrote up the chakra test, and I'll be sending them out to all the requests and stuff. When you are asking for the chakra test, make sure you do it in an inbox, because some of these questions are very personal and I don't want it out there for everybody to see. In the comments or whatever, do it in my inbox. Don't do it on Facebook. Do it for YouTube and spellsmagic.com, and I'll send you the stuff through there. Alright, you guys? So I'll talk to you later. Give me your input. Goodbye and blessed be.